This workflow right here saves me tons of time every single month. And all it does is upload a file. I create a file in a specific folder. This workflow detects it. It uploads it via FTP to a specific spot where it needs to go, and it sends an email to a specific person that needs to get the email. And I mean, that's not hard to do on your own, but that takes time, and doing repetitive tasks like that over and over makes me tired. And when I'm tired, I don't work very well. So I prefer to have whatever I can automate automated. And Robomotion helps me automate a ton of things, saving me a ton of time. This is just one of my workflows. I've got another one over here that's a little more involved. I didn't want to intimidate you with the very first workflow I showed you, but this is one workflow that basically sets up a hosting account, builds a website on that hosting account, like a templated website, and then I can carry on building the website out from there. This is all done with Robomotion, and in this video, I'm going to give you a high-level overview of Robomotion, what it can do, and some ideas for how you can use it. First of all, Robomotion is currently on AppSumo only for 5 more days for Black Friday. So you better come here quick to check it out. It's also 10% off. Everything on AppSumo is 10% off for Black Friday. If we go down to the very bottom, we see the plans, and we have Tier 1, 2 users, 2 production robots, 25 flows, 30-minute bot scheduling. And then every tier goes higher, and you get better limits or faster limits, and you get triggers on Tier 2, and on Tier 4, you get queues. We'll cover what all those mean. First of all, let's cover production robots. If we go into our Robomotion account and we go to our admin console, we have robots right here. Currently, I have 3, only one's connected right now. That means it's running. If a robot's connected, it's running. And it runs on your computer or a server in the cloud. And it uses an app called Robomotion. So right now, I have this Robomotion app installed. Galland Wu is this robot here. He's turned on. Even though it says there are no robots connected right here, he actually is connected. And so when you run a process, it takes over your computer while it's running that process. That's the biggest drawback of Robomotion. And a robot can only do one thing at a time. So when you see here 2 production robots, that means you can have a robot uploading a file on your computer and a robot doing something else on a different computer. You couldn't do 2 things at the same time on the same computer. That's the biggest drawback, I'd say. It also means that you can have these robots running a whole bunch of different flows. So Gallant Wu might run my upload flow, and then it'll run my website builder flow, and then it will run some other flow. And we can have up to 25 flows on Tier 1. So I hope that made sense, clearing up what these numbers actually mean. What you want to do when you get into Robomotion, you want to first of all install this app. I've got another video that walks you through how to do all this stuff. I'll link to that in the description down below. This is going to be a high-level overview. So you install the app, you go to your flow editor, flow designer, actually, and you can build a flow here. And the flow is basically the things you want to automate. On the left-hand side here, we have lots of different things we can do in our flow. This is basically like online automation software like Zapier or Pabbly. You find what you want to do, and you drag and drop it onto your canvas. Browser. There's lots of options for the browser. Just pause this video as I open these so you can see what they all mean and what you can read through them. They're kind of self-explanatory. You can even have it, well, here's speech to text and text to speech, but you can also have it read text as well. And when you're working with the browser information, the browser nodes, you can use XPath, you can use CSS selectors, you can use OCR to detect images, you can use OCR to detect words. You can do all kinds of stuff to make sure that it's clicking the right things and doing the right things on a website. Excel has a lot of use cases. File system, this would be on your computer. Flow, this is things like forks and labels and go to and stop and subflows to keep your flows organized and working properly. Then we have forms, so you can fill out a form and that could trigger a flow. FTP for uploading. Google Sheets, similar to Excel, has a lot of stuff you can do Google Sheets. Keyboard, mail, mouse, net, process, programming, queue, trigger, vault is where you can keep passwords. This is the same type of setup as LastPass or OnePass, where you can keep your sensitive information highly secure. And we have the wait group as well. Queues and triggers, you also remember, are on our pricing page here. We have triggers on Tier 2, and on Tier 4 we get queues. Triggers are external things that trigger a bot. So normally you create a flow here, and then you would trigger the bot to do something with that flow. But if you have triggers, you can go to the admin console and go to triggers, and here you can see we have a trigger. So this is the upload report trigger that uses that flow that we saw at the beginning of this video. And this will run whenever Robomotion on our computer right here and Galant detect a file of a specific name going to a specific folder, and it's going to run this automation right here. So those are triggers. And queues, if you get that through your AppSumo deal, this allows you to queue robots to do tasks one after another. If you don't have queues, you have to run them one at a time and do it manually, or have a trigger run them. And if there is a robot running when the trigger triggers, it's not going to run. Whereas if there's a robot running, like Galant for example, and there's a trigger to have something else that Galant has to do, that will be queued up as next in the queue. Hope that made sense. So we have robots here, Galant like we saw earlier. Flows, these are published flows. In the flow designer, we create the flows and then we publish them over here for use in robots. My website hosting flow isn't in here because I just run that flow manually. I don't use a robot to run it. I just do it manually whenever I need to run it. Users allows us to add users, all the kind of boring stuff, licenses and things. You can upgrade right in the account as well, as you can see here. Audit allows you to see what happened or what's been done recently. Repositories is the code that Robomotion uses to run its apps. Subscriptions, API for devs, bots right here. Monitoring shows activity of bots recently. And we also have the bot console, and this shows us basically the bots that we have set up on this account. So the biggest thing you might be wondering after seeing this is, what am I going to use it for? What can I do with it? So if we go back into the flow designer, we can click on templates here, and this is going to give you lots of ideas for things that you can do with Robomotion, like calculate your BMI automatically if you want to do that. So these templates are ready to go. You just click on them and you can start working with them inside your flow designer and edit them to your heart's content. But there's also more. If we go to their website, we go to solutions, we see lots of case studies here. I'll just quickly give you a quick rundown of some of the cool ideas inside these case studies so you can pick and choose the ones that you might want to use for yourself, or maybe it'll help you generate ideas for something you want to do for yourself as far as Robomotion robots go. So if you go to accounting and finance, you can go to this page as well and read through them. I just want to highlight some of the cooler ones that I think are pretty useful. Simplifying bank reconciliation. RPA, which is Robomotion. Robomotion is a software inside the RPA space, and RPA just means robotic process automation. It can log into your bank accounts, generate reports of your activities, import them into your accounting systems or Excel spreadsheets. That's a giant pain, especially during tax season, doing all that. RPAs like Robomotion can do it for you. And if you think of Zapier or Pabbly and think, oh, they can automate that, they probably can't. There's a lot of stuff they can't automate. Whereas with Robomotion, you can automate anything. You saw inside of the full flow builder, we can have it clicking on buttons on websites. We can have it uploading to FTPs. We can have it interacting with the file system on your computer. And all these things can be connected and automated, which can save you a ton of time. You can use robotic automation to invoice clients and have that work with all your invoicing software and have that all up to date and automated, which is super handy. In the customer service space, you can have customer service bots that you build either using the templates, or they even have a marketplace now where you can buy pre-built bots or you develop it yourself. RPA robots can understand customer inquiries and respond to them with the most relevant and accurate answers. Think ChatGPT type responses. RPAs can assist service agents by identifying customers, autofilling forms, and updating customer information automatically on the fly while the customer service agent is working with your customer. You can have chatbots interacting with your customers or leads on WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, Telegram, and Slack. Pretty handy. If we check out marketing, you can scrape websites to get more data on leads or emails or just content ideas using Robomotion robots. You can gather lists of your competitors and their prices. You can even see when the prices change. So you could have Robomotion go out to your competitors every day, check the prices, put it into a spreadsheet, alert you when there's a change. Automate lead generation. I don't know how well that works, but apparently you can make robots to do that. Content personalization. Use RPA to dynamically generate personalized content such as prospecting videos, images, and personalized emails. When you spend time on AppSumo, you might notice a lot of the stuff that Robomotion can do are apps on AppSumo, which I find pretty interesting. Let's check out CRM automation. Robomotion integrates with your ERP and CRM systems because they exist either on your computer or on the internet, and Robomotion can work with either of those. You can create actionable insights through reports. So you can create any kind of report that you want, pulling data from tons of sources. Obviously, you have to make the report first. You have to know the process of making that report, and then you can automate it using Robomotion, collecting data from all kinds of different sources. You can automate your email campaigns and analytics. You can enhance customer support efficiency with functions like auto replies, automated customer recognition, streamlined customer data management, just to help your customer service agents get the data faster. A lot of you guys use Excel, including me. I use Google Sheets, but it's the equivalent for running your business and keeping a tab on everything to do with your business. Robomotion can help you automate both Excel and Google Sheets. All the repetitive tasks that you do in Excel, you can have Robomotion handle. You can generate error-free reports and send them to whoever needs them, which is kind of what I'm doing with that flow that I showed you earlier. You can analyze reports. You can compare columns. So Robomotion can detect differences or changes or data that you want to find inside your giant data sheets inside Excel or Google Sheets, saving you a lot of time. With web automation, really the sky's the limit. These examples you see here are just a small little bit. Whatever you can do on the internet, you can do with Robomotion, as long as the website doesn't detect robots, I believe. So for example, you can log into your Facebook account as long as the user agent of Robomotion is not a robot, which I think you can edit as well. So you can log into anywhere, and you can go to any website and do whatever you want on that website. You can collect data. You can publish your photos to Flickr, that's the one. You can go to Instagram and download your posts or your competitors' posts and compare them. You can download just the stats for those posts, and it can do all these things for you all the time. Just to reiterate, it runs on your computer. So when you're running these processes, it is on your computer, and that's not super. So you might want to think about getting a VPS. If you have Robomotion, you can run these robots on a virtual private server, which you can just log into through your computer, and you can run your robots through there. But then it's not using your computer. Or if you have a secondary computer, you can run them on there and keep your main computer free to do what you have to do on your computer. You can't automate everything. There's stuff that you have to do. So I encourage you to come and check out Robomotion. This is their website, robomotion.io. This is their AppSumo deal right here. It ends shortly. So if you're interested, come and check it out quick. These are the different tiers right here. There's a link in the description down below. It is an affiliate link. If you click through that link and go to AppSumo, I do get a credit if you purchase. That does not make it more expensive for you, but it just has AppSumo share some of the commission with me. And if you do go through that link and purchase, I really appreciate it. Next up, if you want to know more about Robomotion, check out this video right here where I walk through more of the details on how to set it up. Make sure you check out that video. And this playlist down here is all about Black Friday deals on AppSumo this year. And if you haven't done so yet, click subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss any future videos. My name is Bjorn from WPLearningLab. Till next time, keep crushing it, and I will see you in the next video.